There is one thing that causes more divorces, more separations, and more breakups than anything else. And 90% of men make this mistake on a daily basis. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through exactly what it is and how you can fix it. So if your marriage is on the brink of divorce or separation, or if you're just struggling with intimacy and connection with your partner, you're gonna wanna fix this right away. If you're new here, my name is Toni Versic, and I've coached over 500 successful men using our Empowered Man method. This channel is for you if you wanna make more money, have better relationships, and take your power and purpose back as a modern day man. So what is this one thing? It's called losing the spark. Think about it. When you light a match, there is friction. There is energy that is created, and it's the exact same at the beginning of a relationship. If you reflect back on the moment you got with your partner, it was fun and exciting. You wanted to spend every single moment together, and you would pour in your heart, your love, your appreciation, your understanding into this person. You wanted to know them on a deeper level. There was lots of intimacy and sex, sometimes multiple times a day. At the beginning, the relationship was full of fire and passion. There was energy created within it. Then what begins to happen? Over time, these things change and we start to drop our standards. We start to neglect the things that made us fall in love with each other in the first place. We get busy trying to provide for our family, working hard, hustling and grinding, and we sacrifice. We sacrifice our time, we sacrifice our hobbies, we sacrifice our happiness so that we can give the family the life they deserve. But in that process, we dedicate more time and energy into providing and less time and energy into our partner. And by definition, for a spark to exist, there must be energy in that relationship, which means the things that made us fall in love with each other, they disappear. And this is where a disconnection happens in the relationship. There is a rift that begins to appear. There are cracks that begin to appear, and these cracks get wider and wider and wider until they hit the point of no return. This is where stories start to be built in your partner's mind. Stories like, maybe there's a better man out there for me. Maybe there's somebody who would treat me with more respect, who would give me more time, who would understand me on a deeper level. They start to think these stories, and these stories start to get bigger and more extravagant until they get to the point of no return, at which point, when your partner's mind is made up that the relationship is over, that she wants a divorce, that she wants to separate, there is often very little that you can do if it gets to that point. As a side note, that's exactly what happened to me. I neglected the issues in my relationship. The rift got bigger and bigger and bigger. I didn't communicate effectively or find out if she was feeling loved or appreciated until one day she came home, said, "Toni, I don't love you anymore." And that's how my first marriage ended. It's important to note that if you felt that spark begin to disappear in your relationship, it's not entirely your fault. We don't do this on purpose, especially when we dedicate time and energy into providing and being a man. However, if that spark has gone, it is your responsibility to fix it, because if your wife or partner decides, this isn't the man that I fell in love with, it can be a slippery slope that can cost you millions in business and time and energy with the people that you love. Whether you are happily married or going through a divorce, that spark will begin to disappear, and that's when the cracks show up. This is why, because we drop our standards. It's the same reason we get overweight. It's the same reason we let other areas of our life fall down. Now you might be thinking, Toni, I get it. This makes sense. The spark has disappeared in my relationship, but I've got kids now. I'm busy. I don't have time. How do I fix it? I'm actually releasing a video on how to manage running a business or career while also having a marriage and having kids. So if you'd like to see that, drop a comment down below and make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss out on that powerful video. If you're stressed, overwhelmed, busy, tired, or have children, then those are good excuses for why you don't make the time or invest the energy into your relationship and getting that spark back. However, this is where the first principle comes in, and that is the brush your teeth principle. The brush your teeth principle is simple. Every single day, whether you are tired, busy, or stressed, I guarantee that you brush your teeth. If you don't, please don't comment down below and let me know, but I highly recommend it. You brush your teeth without thinking. You don't wake up in the morning and go, I'm a bit tired today, not gonna brush my teeth. You don't wake up in the morning and go, shit, I have a lot of meetings on today, not gonna brush my teeth. You brush your teeth without thinking because it's a part of who you are. It's a standard that you uphold in your life that doesn't require any conscious thought. And if you can bring that same brush your teeth principle into your relationship, one of your standards is to be the man that your wife or partner fell in love with. One of your standards is to step up every day and every single week using the steps I'm about to share with you right now. Step number one is to simply make a commitment. It's to say, fuck it. Despite work, despite everything else going on, despite my children, I'm making a commitment today to become the man my wife or partner fell in love with. Taking it a step further, I'm going to become the best man I've ever been for my wife or my partner. I'm going to step up and be the man. Step 1, make a commitment. Step 2 is awareness. The only way you can change anything is if you know that it's actually happening. Awareness is the first step to change. If you're driving on the motorway and you turn right without checking your blind spot, you can kill someone if there's a truck there or a car that you drive into. If you don't have awareness, you cannot change. So write a list of all the things you used to do at the beginning of a relationship. Write a list of what made you fall in love with your partner, and write a list of the things you were doing for your partner that made her fall in love with you. Write a list of everything and try and get as many points as you can. Dedicate the time and space to actually do this, and you'll see there were a lot of things in the past that are no longer happening. So step 1 is awareness. Write a list of things that made you fall in love with each other. Step 3 is to simply ask. Ask your partner, what made you fall in love with me? Ask your partner, what did I used to do that I'm no longer doing? Ask your partner, what is the spark like in our relationship, and how would you like it to be better? This is a difficult conversation to have because often you don't want to know the answer. It's very confrontational to be told about your flaws. Now, obviously there are going to be things that you want your partner to do, but we can't ask that of them until we step up. As a matter of fact, you can ask them, but it's very unlikely you're going to get it because their love bank is empty and they're probably not feeling loved. I actually recorded a video on how to have these types of conversations, and I'll link it in the description down below. So the first step is to ask. Ask them what they want, ask them what they desire. You can also ask them to look through your list that you created in the awareness step. Get their opinion on what they think and what they'd like to see more of in the relationship. Step 4 is alone time. And we're going to break this down into 2 categories. The first type of alone time is time with yourself and time for your partner to be with herself. In our relationships, we get so busy, and especially if your partner or wife is looking after the children, looking after the house, they don't get much time to themselves. Now, you may not get time to yourself as well. You might be working or grinding, but if both of you are busy and if both of you don't have time to yourselves, then your energy depletes, which means you have less energy to put into the relationship and less energy to put into each other. So what you can do here is give your partner time to herself. This happens with my wife, Rosie. She looks after Talia every single night. I'm very lucky to have that. We set the expectations. Then she looks after the house, she cooks, she cleans, so that my life can be easier in business. And we've agreed upon these, we've set these expectations. So once a week, what this looks like for me and her is giving her time to herself, to go get a massage, to hang out with her friends, to do whatever she wants so that she can fill up her energy and then redirect that into our relationship. The second type of alone time is alone time together. This is making time and space for the two of you to be present with one another, just like at the beginning of the relationship, away from the children, away from work, away from any distraction, to be with each other. And then you take that awareness of the list you wrote, you take the answers that you asked questions about, and then you do those things that made you fall in love with each other. Go on a date night once a week, go get a massage together, go to the cinemas, look into each other's eyes, and do those things you used to love. For Rosie and I, at the beginning of the relationship, we used to lay on my bed for hours at a time and just laugh and talk about life and tickle each other and play with each other. We don't do that anymore. This is one of the many things we can do that made us fall in love with each other, to get that spark back, to get that connection back. It's very hard to be connected if you don't have time together. It's very hard to be connected if you've got distractions from the kids, work, business, and life. So the fourth step is alone time. Alone time with yourselves to recharge your energy, and alone time together to reconnect and get that spark back. Step 5 we call awakening. And we call it awakening because right now, you and I have been asleep. This is why my first marriage ended, because I was not aware of what was going on. I ignored the problems, I swept them under the rug, and I thought it was enough to just work hard and make money. But this is why the divorce rate is so high, because we're asleep to what's going on in front of us. And the awakening process, this step, it's so simple. Commit to one thing from what I just said above, from the first 4 steps. Commit to one thing you're gonna do from your awareness list. Commit to one thing your partner has told you she wants from you that you no longer do, and do this every single week. You can do it daily if you need to, but start treating each other like you did at the beginning. This takes time, it takes energy, it takes effort, and that's what real love is. Love isn't something that you fall into. That's infatuation. When you fall in love, that's your animal brain working. Real love requires an awakening. It requires you to consciously do things for each other to make each other feel loved, appreciated, and supported. And that's how you get the spark back. That's how you reconnect. You consciously awake and do one thing each and every day or each and every week. Commit to one thing, choose what it is, and do it. The point here is to reconnect. It's to be physically, emotionally, spiritually connected with the person that you love. Most divorces, most breakups, most separations, they can be avoided, but we just drop our standards. We stop brushing our teeth, and that shit stinks. Brush your teeth. Use that principle in your relationship. Make it a standard to give each other that love, that time, that energy, and do that around the kids and around the business, because this is important. There is a consequence and a cost to not doing this. The cost is millions of dollars in divorce settlements or the breakup of assets in business. The cost is a broken family. The cost is potentially having your children raised by another man, and that cost is too high, but it's simple to fix. Follow these steps and consciously choose to reconnect with your partner and to get that spark back. I've recorded a few other videos on how to get the spark back, so I'll link them in a second, but I'll leave you with this. It's not just about making your partner feel loved, it's about stepping up as a man. As a man, it's our job to protect and provide, but that doesn't just mean making money, it means being a leader. And if you can lead your partner in this exercise, if you can get her to come on the journey with you, you're gonna have a deeper connection with her, but you're also gonna have a deeper connection with yourself, which means you're gonna be more successful in the business, you're gonna have less stress and negative thoughts about the relationship, and you're gonna show up in all the areas of your life, not just the relationship, health, wealth, and relationship. That's what we coach on in the Empowered Man. I'll actually link a video down below, the second link in the description, where you can learn some more tips about this. And also, if you wanna work with us as a client, you have the opportunity to do that as well. So that'll be the second link down below. I hope you got value from this video. These are simple steps, but they require one thing, action. So implement these steps right away and watch your marriage flourish and get that spark back, which means more love, more intimacy, and more connection. There's gonna be a video up here on how you can actually communicate better and avoid 3 lethal communication mistakes most men make. And the video down here will show you how to get the spark back in your relationship by using another technique called daily deposits. Go and check those out, and I'll see you for the next one.